Today's Splatoon's 8-year anniversary, and wait, what? Oh, well, fuck, I'm really late. Screw it, let's keep going. With Splatoon now being 8 years old, and because I haven't really seen anyone else make a video on this, I thought it'd be nice to go over how I originally got into Splatoon and my whole story of how I went from a casual fan to a very dedicated player of the series. If you enjoy the video, let me know how you got into the Splatoon series down below in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories, because God, I really don't remember much of my Splatoon 1 experience. I won't lie to you all, I am sorry. I will try and make this more interesting than it actually is. I wasn't particularly young when I first received Splatoon 1. I was in my first year of high school. I also don't even remember when exactly I got the game. The most I can remember is that it was very early on in the game's life. I was thankfully one of the brave souls who owned a Wii U at the time, and being a loyal Nintendo fan that I was, Splatoon caught my interest very early on. I also don't remember how exactly I discovered it, but since I could never really get into Call of Duty or whatever other shooter was popular at the time, I thought this was the best chance to finally fully get into one. So one day after school finished, me and my dad went to the mall, had some Taco Bell before they fell off, and went to EB Games because I'm Canadian, and walked out there with Splatoon. I came home later that day, began playing it, and just like any newcomer, yeah, I just jumped straight to Aerospray. I won turf war games with it, so of course I kept playing. I think it was the second coming of Christ itself. Eventually, two other of my close friends at the time ended up getting the game, and we all played the hell of it together. Thankfully, there were the smarter people in our small group, and enlightened me that the Aerospray was dog shit, and I started to play some new weapons. I picked up the Carbon Roller and the Grim Range Blaster, and they became the weapons I definitely put the most time into. Grim is probably the main reason why I still love blasters to this day, if anything. I don't think I ever played Luna Blaster in Splatoon 1 due to it being one of the most hated weapons in the game at the time. The switch from sticks to motion controls was pretty challenging at the start. There were multiple times where I switched back and forth between the two, but eventually, after brute forcing it, I actually got the hang of motion controls. Around the same time, I was starting to play more of the ranked modes. I don't remember which one was my favorite, but let's be real, it was probably Zones. And if you thought I was joking in my Sizzle Season Wishes video, no, I actually really liked playing on Morai Towers, all the way back in Splatoon 1. It has so many issues, but my god, it is so fun to play on. We can bring it back at Only in Turf War though, right? Nintendo, we don't need it in rank. We don't need it in rank. We can just keep it in Turf War. Just keep it in Turf War. Just keep it in Turf War. Morai Towers also looked really good during Splatfest, and unsurprisingly too, I loved Splatfest. They were always a fun time to get friends and become kings and queens, mostly queens because I preferred the female inkling like any sane being would. I do admittedly kind of miss the king and queen title though, but ruler works just as fine and also has its nice own touch to it. I remember very clearly how shocked I was upon hearing for the first time that Splatoon would be having Splatfest collaborations with Transformers, Pokemon, and fucking SpongeBob. I didn't play all of the Splatoon 1 Splatfest, but I also don't recall most of my history with the game, so let's just say I played half of them. I also remember the absolute shitstorm that was Callie versus me. I was Team Mario. Look, if y'all ever think Splatfest and Splatoon 3 are toxic, just ask any Splatoon 1 player or veteran player if this Splatfest was toxic, and they will hit you with the craziest yes of your life. It was not a pretty sight, but it was also just pretty fun to sit back and watch people mauled over the funny color game, just like I do now. It was also during Splatfest that my friends got up to S+ for the first time, while I was stuck in A-. And it was literally like that for the rest of Splatoon 1's life. Yeah, I never got good at Splatoon back then. That didn't come until way later. I was often carried by my friends in League Battle when that came out, but it was overall very fun. Right, so back in Splatoon 1, not every Splatfest happened at the same time. Some Splatfests were different in each region as well, such as the Transformers one. That one was only in North America. I feel like I've said this too many times, but again, I don't remember what Splatfest it was, but there was a Japanese-only Splatfest going on, and my friends used that as an opportunity to grind rank. They wouldn't be able to go up against Japanese players since they couldn't even play ranked at the time. If you can't tell, we all had the mindset of Japanese player equals ass whooping back then. Honestly, it took me until Splatoon 3 to finally get out of that mindset. I don't remember why I didn't join my two friends back then, and I always remember feeling a little left behind when they did get S+. Not helping that feeling was that they also started to join teams and practice for tournaments, which I think they only did once before stopping. I mean, shit, that's still more than me. I'm still too afraid to even dare think of joining a Discord server. Just hovering my mouse over it is enough to make me nervous. Online social anxiety is real and is a bitch. Though like the wanting high schooler with too much free time on his hands like I wanted to talk to others about the game. And so I posted a Splatoon video on my channel at the time about how Inklings wouldn't work in Smash Wii U, which I mean I was technically right? Along with that, I also posted a video about my top 5 favorite video game bosses where I put DJ Octavio at number 1, I think? I actually don't remember either. Before that fight though, I don't actually remember much of my story mode experience, though I know for sure that I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was a great way to kill time while also getting better at the game by fighting bots who don't know how to fight at all. I don't care what anyone says though about Splatoon's OST, I fucking love Tornado Shuffle. That song has no right to go as hard as it does. And god, I fucking sucked at DJ Octavio's boss fight. This fight kicked my ass. I don't think I could put into words how much I struggled with this fight. You know how you lose 2 socks and lean forward? That Smash meme, right? Yeah, that was me off rip. I got upset and I raged so many times during this fight, but my god, I fell in love with it. It has the perfect amount of challenge while also remaining fair. Every death felt like it was my fault. The music, while now being heavily outclassed by the new Splatoon 3 version, still give you a sense of dread and pressure that you are going up against the main villain while constantly distracting you from the fight because of how good the song fucking was. The platforms changing with each hit you got in Octavia that adjusted the amount of area you could move around in, eventually becoming a thin line, and if you look close enough, it could almost pass as a new Splatoon 3 map. I had so much fun with this fight. I could probably breeze through it now easily, but it checked off every box for me, and the cherry on top of it all was being hit by the absolute beautiful ending song of Maritime Memory. Seriously, I will be in the club crying to this shit one day. While I may not remember much of my Splatoon 1 experience, I still have some fond memories of the game that will stick with me for a long time. It was something I had never experienced before, and it didn't really take much for me to fall in love with the series. From the unhinged Miiverse posts, the god-awful memes that haven't aged well a bit, and the Squid Girl outfit that still hasn't come back, Splatoon 1 was something I wouldn't forget for a long while. Yeah, so, now that I kinda didn't get Splatoon 2 until it had literally finished up. I had missed everything, the shifty stations, the final fest, the launch of Octo expansion, whatever the hell Salmon Run was, and the base game story mode. I remember being excited for Splatoon 2 when it was first shown off, but all of that excitement quickly vanished as Super Mario Odyssey was revealed literally right after it. All of my attention was put on that game, so much so that when I did eventually get a Switch, I had completely forgotten about Splatoon 2 already. I started playing Smash Ultimate, Mario Kart 8, started to learn Odyssey speedrunning, all while forgetting Splatoon 2 existed. Though, one day, as a dumb first-year college student not knowing how much money I had, oh right, I'm in college at this point now, I went out one day and bought Splatoon 2 alongside Octo expansion. I don't remember what reminded me of the series at the time, but despite missing out on all of it, I really wanted to start playing the series again. So I loaded up Splatoon 2 for the first time, and just jumped straight to K-Shot. Look, I don't know what it is with me and just jumping to the most infamous weapons the moment I get a Splatoon game. It still is the most turf-inked weapon for me onto. I went from loving Grim Range and Carbon Roller to just a trash K-Shot one-trick. It was literally all I played when I got on the game. I never experimented or branched out to any other weapon class. Every time I got on the game, even during Splatfest reruns, it was just to play K-Shot, and while I had fun, it didn't last as long as it should have. I had played and loved the hell out of Octo expansion, but never went back to it after beating it. I never even knew about Inner Agent 3 until way later on, so I never did that fight back then. Going through story mode was fun, but like everyone else had mentioned, it was quite literally just a copy and paste story mode from Splatoon 1 with a weaker final boss compared to its predecessor, and the thought of going for 1000% did not seem appealing at all, so I never bothered. And Salmon Run? Honestly, I think I only played it twice. I know I said before I was never big on Salmon Run, but I don't hate the mode. I honestly just kind of forgot it was there. Not helping that was the stupid limited time windows it had. I played Splatoon 2 for a couple months, reaching 125 hours, and dropped it when the pandemic had really started, so around March of 2020. And I think the next time I went on it was the day Splatoon 3 was announced, and yeah, just like before, I played K-Shot and got bored very quickly again. I was excited for Splatoon and its newest installment, but that excitement always faded away so easily. I don't remember the exact date, but it was somewhere around this month when I decided to give Splatoon 2 another real chance. With Splatoon 3 coming out later the same year, I had felt I hadn't gotten my money's worth with Splatoon 2 at all. The game was turning 5 years old at this point, and I had gotten it all the way back in 2019 and only amassed 125 hours on the game. I don't know why, but that feeling bothered me. It bothered me a lot, actually. And well, thanks to that feeling, I got back on the game and made sure things would be different this time. I put a rule on myself to ban K-Shot and play weapons I've never even considered playing before. Hey! Don't look at that fucker. She doesn't love you back. So with that rule and wanting to get my money's worth, I began to play Splatoon 2, and thankfully things were very different. I had officially become obsessed with Splatoon again, but more than I ever have been before. I'm a very obsessive person. Whenever I finish a series I deem amazing, play a game I have fond memories of, or seriously start speedrunning them, I get obsessed. I played the shit out of Sword and Shield for months straight when that released. Then at the start of the pandemic, I rediscovered my huge love for Mario Kart Wii and played it consistently for an entire year. I played the hell out of mod packs for that game to the point where I have 22 different Mario Kart Wii files on my computer, and even speedrunning my favorite track, Mushroom Gorge, Fuck the Cap Jump. Later on, after that year went by, I began speedrunning Minecraft consistently for about 4 months and actually got pretty good at it, I won't even lie. Let's fucking go! Yes! Let's fucking go! Finally!
New PB.
These were all games I had become obsessed with in recent years, and it was finally Splatoon's turn. From starting to play Squiffer to learn chargers, going back to story mode for 1000%, finally playing whatever the hell Salmon Run was, really going for S+ for the first time, and beating every Octo expansion level to unlock Inner Agent 3, I had stuff to do in the game. I was doing so many things in the game that I had just chosen to ignore prior, and I was loving every bit of it. Once I had gotten my fill with Squiffer, I switched over to Luna Blasters, which I had barely played in Splatoon 1. After that, I went to the odd choice of Dynamo Roller, which I actually became a really big fan of. I still adore this weapon even now. Please give it a good kid. Then I went to, ooh, hold on, wait. Kensa Redwood looks sick. Holy fuck, I suck with Baller. Grim Rage with Burst Bomb is peak. You know, Climb Blitz actually isn't that bad. I played Kensa L3 for one match. What the fuck? Okay, screw it. Yo, Ultra Step is stupid fun. How do I fight this thing? Bro, check how much Piers I have. These are useless. God damn, I love Octobrush. I just place beacons and I get to be an annoying piece of shit. Piranha Pit can burn in hell. Yo, Nautilus is fun. I hate Suction Bomb. Dude, the Splatoon manga sucks. Emperor and Vintage are raw though. I never tried out dualies, but damn was Tetra fun to learn. Glowfies can kiss my ass. Time to spam missiles with Mini Splatling. Yo, Oscar, do you want to play Splatoon 2?
No.
I suck with Brellas, but Kensa Undercover Brella is goated. I'm a Brella main! Hydra is slow as shit, but I just kill people for free with this thing. I fucking hate Stingray. Fuck off, Stinger! K52 is so free and easy. I will definitely use this. Can someone please tell me how to get good at sub-traffic? I am bad at it. Please help me. I don't know what I'm doing. It's how the months leading up to Splatoon 3 release went for me in terms of the multiplayer experience. Despite playing by myself for the majority of the lead up, getting to refresh myself on the series and learn new weapons I had never played before and learn about what exactly I had missed out on was a blast. It was also around this time when I started to learn about the competitive scene for Splatoon and just how hidden it was. Does that sound right? It was surprising to see Nintendo do actual tournament events for one of the games, and while they're never perfect from what I've heard, it's still a huge thing for Nintendo to even acknowledge a competitive scene in a good light for their own games. Yet somehow, competitive Splatoon could never really get the same relevance as other games. But being not Nintendo, I could start learning way more about competitive through SplatTubers. I mainly only watched one at the time before Splatoon 3 came out, that being Pro Chara. I wouldn't branch out to other creators until near Splatoon 3's launch, and, well, can you tell I'm a fan of Chara? No. Yeah, no, I didn't think so. I was always walking away from Chara's analytical or competitive videos more knowledgeable about Splatoon. I learned about Sendo builds, which I didn't start using till Splatoon 3 came out, to be honest, how bad the maps were, how every competitive player hates Turf War, which rubbed off on me and now I don't like it, how much Blaster sucked, someone drawing an Among Us with an ink brush, K52 is OP, yeah, I will definitely use it, how much Ink Armored suck, wow, Chara is pretty lucky in Mario Party, how offered Jet Sculpture was for the Mela, what? Mela. Fuck. Okay, maybe I can keep that one in. Guys, I still don't know how to substrafe well. Man, Nintendo sucks at game balancing. Oh wait, brothers are bad too? Wait, why are a lot of these bad? Maybe I should go back to Minecraft. And how gear abilities work, but now I can't play the game without using stealth jump. Seriously, I can't fucking take it off. Look at how much stealth jump shoes I have in Splatoon 3. I feel like I'm playing the worst without it. These were just some of the many things I learned during this time, and it's thanks to that I was able to finally achieve S+ on my own for the first time. And with that, I had finally caught up to my friends who didn't know X rank existed, and you bet your ass I used K52 to get to S+. The matches I had grinding up to the ranked were some of the most intense matches I had ever had in Splatoon 2 up until that point, and the feeling of satisfaction I had once I reached it was amazing. Even though I wasn't the highest ranked anymore, I had still felt so happy to finally see myself improving. I could crush B- players in Clan Blitz because yeah, I barely touched that mode. It was an X rank, but I could finally call myself good at the game, is what I thought until I did this fucking boss fight. Jesus Christ, this fight is way harder than DJ Octavia from Splatoon 1. Inner Agent 3 made sure my ego was humble. stumbled. On my first attempts, I was sweating just trying to get past this second phase. It didn't take me as long as Octavio did, only about 2 hours to finally get it down, but yeah, this fight was an amazing reward for going through those fucking 8-ball stages. The toothpick sucks though, I won't lie. But even though it was a grind to unlock that boss fight, the real grind was story mode 1000%, and let me be straight up with y'all. This fucking sucked too. When you're still learning how to play all the weapons, yeah, some of these stages are going to be annoying to get through. Out of everything leading up to Splatoon 3's release, this was probably the one thing I really disliked doing. Going through the same level with a different weapon sounds fun on paper, but having to go through a level 9 times just to fully complete it, along with said level not changing depending on what weapon you're using, just makes the whole process feel stale. Not helping that was the reward of getting a different weapon skin, which just didn't feel worth the full grind. Going through 32 different levels and bosses over and over again just for a worse looking hero open than what they were in Splatoon 1 that also probably has an other kit that is just better than it and probably looks better too. Like, let's be real, the Splatoon 2 hero roller doesn't compare to the Splatoon 1 version. Just look at Splatoon 1 hero shot compared to... Oh, what the fuck is that? Oh my god, it's awful. Put that creature out of its misery. Holy shit. Yo, can we get that giant beam Tartar fight at the end of Octo Expansion to wipe this disgusting object out of my sight? Holy shit. Bro, Sheldon, you are not cooking with this one, bro. I'm sorry, man. Even though I wasn't much of a fan of this experience, honestly, I don't really regret it. It was the most Splatoon felt like a chore, but it did have its fun moments, like absolutely destroying the second world boss fight. That fight is pathetically easy once you get it down. And of course, learning all the weapon classes. The grind for 1000% is actually when I picked up Octobrush. I got the hang of it and started to really enjoy it. Even now, it's my third most played weapon in Splatoon 3, though that spot is in danger now that Wiper Deco exists. After I finally wasted my time getting bad weapon skins, I turned my attention towards unlocking the Inner Agent 3 fight, and while I don't have as much to say here, it was a pretty straightforward process of beating each level and hating the 8-ball ones, because that's my personality trait now. Unlike the story mode though, it was way more fun thanks to the extra added challenge. The only noteworthy thing I can mention was that the E-liter grinding level is boring, play the Jet Sculpture one instead. And that was the remaining months of Splatoon 2 for me. I had made the most of it and fell in love with the series again, but this time, I made sure this newfound passion wouldn't fade away again. Thankfully, with me getting back into Splatoon a couple months before Splatoon 3, it really distracted me with how left in the dust we were when it came to information on the game. We rarely got any news on the game, and with September fast approaching, people really began to worry that Splatoon 3 would just be Splatoon 2.5, and to some, they still do stand by that claim even now. I was never bothered by that discussion though. I was really just so excited to be a part of a new Splatoon game and actually not miss out on the entire experience for once, that I didn't really care if it was Splatoon 2.5. Eventually, sometime in early August, we had finally gotten the announcement that we would be getting a Splatoon 3 Direct, and it would be around 30 minutes long, and my excitement for it was massive. The days leading up to it were a brutal wait, and when it was finally time for the Direct, I stayed up the entire night with a friend who's never played Splatoon before. Despite being very tired, 9 AM came and the Splatoon 3 Direct started. Bro, look at her go.
She doing the jig.
She is absolutely vibing, bro. You love to see it. What a great way to start this off.
New techniques like the squid surge to swim up walls.
Oh, that's what the blaster did.
And this bridge.
Ooh, yes, Hammer Bridge is back. Yes, I missed the stage. Wow, that frame rate for him is so bad. What is this?
A sponge?
Katanas.
Katanas?
Okay.
Instead of a katana?
That's kinda sick.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh, Kraken. It's a new Kraken. God, fuck off. Don't bring this back. Don't bring Tensor Missiles back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finally,
holy shit. Holy shit.
Man, there's one swole motherfucker. That's swole as fuck.
Intensity action?
Bruh.
That might be broken. Yes, dude, yes! Sweet, I don't have to do like some ugly ass pose. No.
There you go, there's your pose, bro. There's a pose, bro.
No, I walked into it.
Excuse me, I lost my clampoosure for a second there.
Shut the fuck up. We're gonna look forward to seeing people trying to melt this boss.
Is this Mako mode? This is Mako mode. This is Mako mode.
Yes! You.
Oh my god, the eyes. Big man.
Yo, Big Man! My man, Big Man!
The youngsters of Splatsville own sea
What are those
cucumber
fucking
phones.
Sea
phones?
cucumber
They
phones.
can check the news while doing other activities.
Where's sea cucumber, bro?
Based on the announced theme.
They doing the thing.
Yo, the Macarena! He was doing the Macarena!
This
No shot.
is a tricolor turf war.
Yo!
Okay,
It's a
that's
special
fucking
mode
sick.
where
That's
three teams
sick.
fight at the
That's
same
crazy.
Bro, on my birthday? Dude, perfect birthday present
Oh,
right
God.
there.
Oh, I am awake. I am wide awake now. I am wide awake.
Time to stay out for another 10 hours.
Yep. I think it's safe to say, after confusing Mako Mart with Wahoo World, I was beyond excited. My hype meters had shattered the roof like 10 minutes into it, and everything looked amazing. I had no complaints with anything besides missiles coming back. I was gonna join the Fry haha funny big forehead bandwagon, but I don't know, man. Something about her dance during the trailer was just a vibe. It was sick. I liked it. Forehead memes are still funny though. Story mode was taking more inspiration from Octo expansion, thank God. I don't care if the levels are easier, I don't have to go through them 9 fucking times anymore. Salmon Run actually looked interesting now. I still barely play it. We could skip the news, thank God we're finally free. Ultra Stamp is back and the new specials look fantastic. Why isn't Cooler meta yet? Tricolor will be perfect. Let's start it on a Splatoon 2 map. Genius. Somehow the anime fan in me didn't immediately jump on Splatanas and was still more interested in the bow. I will get back to you. It was at this point where I was consuming every detail I could find about the game, big or small. Watching more Splattuber reactions or analysis videos or discussions about how Clambits will somehow be worse. It was not. And this was how every day went waiting for the Testfire. How much would we know going into the Testfire? How much new would we learn during the Testfire? How much people were actually going Team Paper? Would Tacticooler be meta? And why is the main saber icon different? During the lead up, I had also told a lot of my friends who didn't play Splatoon but who owned a Switch about the Testfire. With it being free, they could finally get a chance to play it and see why I was so into the series. I believe it was a day or two before the Testfire began, but we were allowed to go into Splatoon 3 early and create our character, do the tutorial, go to Splatsville, try out the gear that was available. Oh hell yeah dude, Rainmaker is on open, check out the shops only to be kicked out, and realize you can't do anything else. Wait, what? Yeah, this kinda sucked, and it was definitely the biggest downside for the entire Testfire if you ask me, regardless of how Tricolor went. Not being able to test out the weapons before it began was severely disappointing no matter how you look at it. Some people opted to not leave the tutorial, but I didn't realize at the time that once you left, you wouldn't be able to go back to the tutorial. I was a bit saddened by this, but then I realized 2 seconds later, oh, I can just use my brother's account and go back to the tutorial. And well, with just a couple days remaining before the Testfire, I went back to that tutorial numerous times to practice squid roll, surges, doing squid roll text, and oh my god guys, I can substrafe now, I did it, I've learned it! Finally, August 27th came, and by using the skill I can certainly gain to make myself wake up at any time I tell myself to, I got up an hour before the Testfire, drank a large amount of water, and anxiously awaited for Splatsville to turn dark. While not all of my friends who I told about the Testfire showed up, I still had a lot of company to join me during this time. One of them being my best friend whose only history with the series prior to this was the Splatoon 2 Testfire, and we both really got into this Splatfest. To be honest, I thought I'd be by myself at some point during this event, but no, he joined me from start to finish, all 12 hours of the Testfire Splatfest. Yes, we played the entire event, only taking one food break. Was it unhealthy? Absolutely. Was it some of the most fun I had that year? Abso-fucking-lutely, and I would 100% do it again. Even if Team Scissors didn't win, I enjoyed this day so much to even bother about caring if we won or lost. I got to play old weapons with new kits, new weapons with new playstyles, new maps that we didn't know how much they'd suck yet, new specials, 2 amazing songs that never even got a little repetitive, and an entirely new mode. And you think I give a shit about if we won or not? God no, that one thing does not ruin the amount of joy I had during these 12 hours. I don't care if we got destroyed during Tricolor. I don't care if the votes weren't balanced. I don't care if I thought Mincemeat was a good map at first. What I had experienced during those short 12 hours were something I still look back fondly to this day, and will for a long time. I realized how much I sucked with tri-stringers and tried out the Sultana Wiper instead, and I think I became a fan of the weapon class. What do you guys think? Sadly, the 12 hours were up and the Splatfest ended. After hearing the results, after playing for 12 hours, I went back on my brother's account and practiced squid rolls I didn't use during the event. My wrists were damn near shattered that day, but I couldn't put the game down. I still had more energy, and they robbed me of my fucking sword. The remaining 2 weeks before Splatoon 3's release was watching Testfire videos slowly improving at Splatoon 2 while also being called a cheater, and giving my controller drift issues which I wouldn't fix until the gear grub fun split. Splatfest. Still, I was just filled with excitement, passion, and energy for Splatoon 3. Had I made a clips montage video, the most original thing for Splatoon videos I know. It was just 3 days after the Testfire where I uploaded old Splatoon 2 clips from when I first got the game to when I got back into it, and the 6 Splatoon 3 clips I got from the Testfire. It was very bare bones, little to no editing done on it, and it was also an excuse to free up space on my Switch, but even then, I had a lot of fun editing it. To the point where I actually made one more, released just a day before Splatoon 3. And y'all, look, this is actually one worth watching, just throwing that out there. I actually put more effort into this one than the previous one, still not as good as these two, but like, I still like this one actually. I still like this one a little bit. On the last day of Splatoon 2, I went back on just one last time, and instead of playing a new weapon I never tried, I broke the rule of myself and played K-Shot one final time, only to get an Ultra Stamp thrown at my face. Seeing early Splatoon 3 videos from content creators was a joy, but also made waiting just that bit more painful than what it already was. But the overwhelming positive things they were all saying just reassured me that Splatoon 3 was going to be a good game. And once September 9th, 12 AM hit, I finally got to find out for myself just how good this game would truly be. Wait, you mean mincemeat is bad? I had originally planned to just jump straight into the story mode, but I thought, a couple matches wouldn't hurt, and then I ended up playing Turf War for an hour. And I also took a peek in ranked, just to get my ass handed to me in BX rank. It's a day one thing, you wouldn't get it. After realizing how quickly you could unlock the Splatana Wiper, I decided to use my gold Sheldon licenses on the Dynamo Roller, Octobrush, and the Splatana Stamper. And this clip from my 100 hours video, that was my first match with Stamper. The big sword called out to me and I heard back. But going back one last time to Splatoon 2, there was one part I intentionally skipped over. After the Testfire had ended, one data miner had begun streaming Splatoon 3 before it came out, and not really caring about seeing footage of the game as long as it was in story mode, even though I got spoiled about the final boss later on, unfortunately. I decided to join in and talk about others about Splatoon and our music taste for some reason. I won't say who nor show the footage of that stream to protect myself and the streamer just in case the Nintendo ninjas are watching, you never know what they're up to, but finally being able to just gush about Splatoon to others was a great feeling, and after the stream ended, I wanted more of that community feeling. So like the attention-seeking, anxious bitch I started to join other people's streams in hopes of finding someone I could click with. And after a while, I actually did end up finding 2 people who I did click with. I'm sure viewers of my channel at this point know who Zoe is, but it was around early Splatoon 3 where we first became friends. Alongside her was M, who actually also appeared in one of my videos. I had finally found and formed a group of Splatoon friends that I had so desperately wanted, but even past just having friends to play Splatoon with, we all just became really good friends in the end. We've done almost every Splatoon 3 event together, and without them, I could have easily fallen out of this game again. We also beat the fuck out of the winner, like, holy shit, dude, that wasn't even fucking close, we fucking bodied. It was fun to be carried by Zoe and Salmaran. It was fun to discuss about if Stingray was good or bad at 6 AM in the morning with M. It is bad. Splatoon is a series that truly hits its best when you have friends to experience it with. Not to discourage those who don't have others to play with it, but I can't recommend this enough. Find other people to play with. There's something about hitting a stupid high quota in Big Run or everyone using the same weapon for a match or two with others that just doesn't hit the same by yourself. And once I had started climbing the ranks, it didn't take me long to get back up to S+, even more so when X Battles came out. I got that the same month Chill Season started. I wasn't even using Splatana as much at this point. I was mostly switching between Octobrush and Blaster for the rank modes. That wouldn't come until the very end of the Drizzle season. And everything past to this point is now all history. I uploaded a couple more videos, one of them blew the fuck up, holy shit. I vanished for 6 months, and now here I am writing, recording, editing what's pretty much a whole love letter to Splatoon as a series and how much of a positive impact it's left on me. After playing the hour of Turf War when Splatoon 3 came out, I went to story mode at 1 AM and didn't stop playing until 7 AM in the morning. I went to sleep the same morning and woke up 4 hours later, and from 12 to 2 PM, I finished the story mode in under 24 hours after Splatoon 3 had launched, and I absolutely loved it. I realized later on, oh shit, I missed a level. Went back to complete it and take on the Grand Master, oh shit, I mean after Alterna, which took me around an hour or two to finish, only to be rewarded with gear I still haven't used to this day. And that's the story of how I went from a casual fan of the series, forgetting it existed, to an extremely dedicated fan of the series. How I went from barely being able to reach S rank in Splatoon 1 going all the way up to S plus 15, to then getting hobbled in X Battles before I dare call myself a high level player. Yet I still managed to somehow get the top 3000 badge. This match is definitely what got me that badge. There's no fucking way I would have gotten that otherwise. If you somehow couldn't couldn't already tell, I love this franchise to death now. It's not my favorite, as I doubt Pokemon will ever be topped for me no matter how much Game Freak fumbles, but I can start to count Splatoon as my second favorite game series now. I may have played Mario Kart Wii for longer, I may have gone more serious with Minecraft speedruns, but Splatoon left a bigger impact on me overall. I'm sure you can tell by the length of this video and just how much I've gushed over the series. No matter how much Nintendo messes up with the maps, constant disconnects, challenges having very limited time slots, side order being delayed, which I literally give zero fucks about, or weapon kits being bad, I'll always find some time to come back to the series, play a couple matches, do a bit of salmon run, replay a level or two in the story mode, and beat Baby Jelly and Table Turf one more time. I'm a Pokemon fan after all. I am used to being disappointed and still buying disappointing products. If I can go through the last 4 mainline Pokemon games and still come out a fan, I think I'll be fine for when Splatoon messes up big time. The core game is still just too much fun to let something else ruin it for me. Seeing myself improve has been extremely satisfying, and even though I've hit an uninkable wall right now, I do eventually want to improve and potentially get good enough to at least obtain a Silver X rank badge. And I know during this time I'll have friends to make the grind more enjoyable, the events more memorable, come out of discussions more knowledgeable, and make the arrival of new seasons more unforgettable. Thank you for watching and listening to me gush about this game till the end. Here's to a better Splatoon 3.